So your visa is about to expire and you don't know what to do or how to stay in the UK. Or you have even overstayed your visa and you are scared that the Home Office is going to chase you down, deport you, and give you a bad record for 10 years without the ability to travel back to the UK or any other country. What if I told you the Home Office is willing to give you a second chance? And even up to £3,000 for free. Yes, you heard me right. But you need to stick and stay because you or someone you know may need this information. The following content is as a result of the combination of extensive research, personal and shared experiences in the UK, and does not constitute a legal advice. If you seek counsel, please contact a qualified immigration advisor or solicitor. Welcome to the channel, guys. It's your boy Caleb. If this is the first time you are coming across this channel, may I ask that you please hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification icon also to allow the channel to grow and to continue to provide valuable content for you. If you have already subscribed to the channel, kindly like this video and check out other videos on the channel. So let's dive into this video. Many a time people find themselves in a difficult spot when it comes to their visa status in the UK. Having lived in the UK for more than 3 years now, I've heard many stories where migrants were struggling to either switch from their visa or to extend their current visa. I know a couple of friends who were overwhelmed because their visas were coming to expire and they did not know what to do. And in most cases, some people start taking silly decisions that they would have ideally not taken just to secure themselves in the UK. Well, those days of ignorance are well behind us because today's video is going to highlight key information about migrants whose visas are about to expire and those whose visas have actually expired. Starting from those whose visas are about to expire, the Home Office has introduced a visa lifeline called Further Leave to Remain, or FLR for short. So the Further Leave to Remain visa, or the Further Leave to Remain category of visas, allows you to extend your stay in the UK if your current visa is about to expire. Please note that you cannot apply for this kind of visa if your current visa has already expired. I'll come and talk about the options available to you if your visa has already expired. Now, there are about 7 to 9 different visas under the Further Leave to Remain category of visas. The first one is called Further Leave to Remain, HRO. You can use this visa form to apply to extend your stay in the UK for human rights claims, live outside the rules, and other routes not covered by other forms. Further details on how to apply for this visa and their eligibility criteria and requirements can be found on the UKVI website. Now, the next visa under the Further Leave to Remain category of visas is the visa called Further Leave to Remain (FP). You use this visa form to apply to extend your stay in the UK on the basis of your family life as a partner, parent or dependent child, or on the basis of your private life in the UK. The form is for a family life as a partner, the 10 years route, family life as a parent, the 5 and 10 years route, dependent child of a person who has or is at the same time applying for limited leave to enter or live in the UK, other than under the points-based system, or UK ancestry, the 10-year route, private life in the UK, 10-year route, and live outside the rules on the basis of family or private life in the UK. The next kind of visa under the Further Leave to Remain category of visas is the Further Leave to Remain M visa. Now, you use this visa form to apply to extend your stay in the UK as a partner or a dependent child of someone who is already settled in the UK or someone who is a refugee under humanitarian protection. Now, the next kind of visa under the Further Leave to Remain category of visas is the Further Leave to Remain LR visa. Now, you can use this visa to extend your stay in the UK if you have lived in the UK legally for minimum of 10 years continuous. Now, the next visa under the Further Leave to Remain category of visas is a Further Leave to Remain S visa. Now, you can use this visa to extend your stay in the UK if you are a stateless person. Now, a stateless person is somebody who does not have any nationality but is staying in the UK. Now, the next visa under the Further Leave to Remain category of visas is Further Leave to Remain DL. You can use this visa to extend your stay in the UK or indefinite leave to remain if you were refused asylum but given discretionary leave to stay in the UK for a limited period of time. So the next visa under the further leave to remain category of visas is further leave to remain AF. You can use this visa to extend your stay in the UK as HM forces or His Majesty forces or their dependent in the UK. Now, His Majesty forces are made up of the British Army, Royal Navy, and Royal Air Force. Now, the next visa is further leave to remain P. This visa is used to extend the permission of a child under 18 to stay in the UK with a relative who is not a parent, has a protection status in the UK, and is yet to settle. The final visa under the further leave to remain category of visas is the further leave to remain IR. Now, you use this visa to extend your stay in the UK for other routes under the immigration rules. Now, specifically, this visa IR is for the following categories of visas. So if you are on a visitor visa, you can use this further leave to remain IR visa to extend your stay in the UK, except you are on a visitor visa for transit, approved destination status, and permitted paid engagement visitors. Also, you can use this further leave to remain IR visa to extend your stay in the UK if you are already on UK ancestry visa, or domestic worker in a private household, or domestic worker who is a victim of slavery or human trafficking. You can also use this visa, the further leave to remain IR visa, to extend your stay in the UK if you are a parent of a child student. There are other categories under this further leave to remain IR visa category that I will leave the link in the description for you to check out. Please make sure you verify your eligibility and requirements for specific visa categories before applying. Also note that applying under the wrong FLR form can impact the outcome of your visa negatively. Now, I know most people watching me are either on student visa, graduate visa, global talent visa, or skilled worker visa, but you've not heard how you can extend your visa. Now, this is because there are different ways, requirements, and eligibility to extend your visa under any of the categories I've mentioned. So, if you are on a student visa, graduate visa, skilled visa, or global talent visa, the eligibility and the requirements you need to extend your visa differs from those of the further leave to remain visas. But to tackle these specific cases, if you're on a student visa and you require further extension on your visa, this requires sponsorship from a licensed education provider like your school, a proof of continuous studies, and a proof of financial support. When you have these three in place, you can then go ahead to apply to extend your stay in the UK as a student. But make sure that you are indeed continuing to study in the school. Now, I know how important it is for students to sometimes get these extensions because not all students pass their exams or dissertations. So it is necessary that they get the extension to complete their exams or dissertation. Now, if you're on a skilled visa and you need to extend your stay to live and work in the UK, you will need to continue working for an employer who is a licensed sponsor. This might not necessarily need to be your current employer. You must also meet the salary and skill requirements set by the Home Office. Now, if you are on a graduate visa and you want to extend your stay in the UK, this cannot be done on the same graduate visa category. However, you can switch from the graduate visa to either a skilled visa or global talent visa. Now, there is another route that is available for graduates that is called new entrance route. Now, I'll do another video explaining what this new entrance route is about into detail. Finally, if you are on a global talent visa, you can extend your stay in the UK within the same category of global talent visa, but you need to provide continuous endorsement and ongoing work in the field. Make sure you apply for the further leave to remain visa or to extend your visa before that current visa expires. Now, what if you have already overstayed your visa and you are worried that the Home Office is going to chase you and deport you to your home country? I must say that I would never advise anybody to think or ever plan of overstaying their visa because it leads to only one thing, which is deportation. Also, it is going to have a bad record on your immigration history. No matter the excuse you give, you will be affected heavily. However, if you are watching this video and you find yourself in a situation where you have overstayed your visa, you may have a more dignified option presented to you by the Home Office. Now listen up. The Home Office has introduced a policy that is called the Voluntary Return Policy that can help you avoid deportation and its negative effects, and may even provide financial support of up to £3,000. So if you have overstayed your visa, you can opt for the Voluntary Return Policy, which is a more dignified way of returning to your home country. Now note that the alternative of the Voluntary Return Policy is deportation, that is going to affect your immigration history for 10 years. If you have realized, if you're applying for visas, you would get to a point where they would ask you, have you ever been deported or rejected entry into any country before? Now, if you are deported, that history is going to remain with you for 10 years. In certain cases, you may not be able to travel to some countries for up to 10 years. So, if you have already overstayed your visa, why opt in for the Voluntary Return Policy? Well, the first reason is that you may be eligible to receive up to £3,000 from the Home Office to return to your home country. 2. It helps you avoid the stress and consequences of forced deportation. And 3. It helps you maintain a cleaner immigration record, which can positively affect future travel and visa applications. So to just do a quick run through of what the Voluntary Return Policy is about, as you can see on the screen, you can get help to return to your home country if you do not have permission to live in the UK. Now, the Voluntary Return Service is the department at Home Office that deals with voluntary return policy, and they can explain your options for returning home, help you get travel documents such as passports, if you already don't have some, and pay for travel tickets if you are unable to or struggling to. Now, you can also get help if you are already making your own plans to return home, and you may also be eligible to apply for financial support of up to £3,000 to resettle or to find a job or to start a business when you get to your home country. So let's look further into who can actually get help. So if you are in the UK illegally, or you have overstayed your visa, or you have withdrawn or you want to withdraw your application to stay in the UK, or you have made a claim for asylum in the UK, or you have received a letter from Home Office confirming that you are a victim of modern slavery, please note that you cannot apply for the Voluntary Return Policy if you fall under this category. Thus, if you already have permission to stay in the UK, for instance, you are in the UK as a student or as a skilled worker, you cannot apply for the Voluntary Return Policy. Or if you are currently being investigated by Home Office, or you have been given a prison sentence that is more than 12 months, or you have been convicted of an offense and been given deportation order. You can also not apply for the voluntary return if you have humanitarian protection, indefinite leave to remain, or refugee status. You cannot apply for the voluntary return if you are also on S2 healthcare visit visa. And finally, if you have applied for or already have settled or pre-settled EU settlement status, you cannot apply for voluntary return. Now, finally, who can get financial support? So if you fall under this category, note that you may be eligible to apply for financial support. 1. If you are returning to a developing country as defined by the OECD, you may also be eligible to receive some funds of up to £3,000 if your claim for asylum in the UK has been refused. You may be eligible to receive some funds if the Home Office has sent you a letter confirming that you are a victim of modern slavery, or you are a part of a family group that will travel together, including someone who is under 18, or you are under 18 and you are traveling alone, or you are under 21 and you are a care leaver. Well, if you are sleeping rough, that is also a reason for you to be given some financial support. And also, if you need more help with your return, for instance, if you have some medical condition. Now, all this said, make sure you contact the Voluntary Return Services if you need any help or any clarification about it. So guys, there's a spectrum of options available when it comes to extending your visa, switching your visa, or in the worst case scenario, overstaying your visa. Do not panic when you find yourself in any of the situations above. Always make sure you go for information. One way or the other, there will always be a way out. Please contact immigration advisor or solicitor for specific advice and guidance. Now, if you have not subscribed to the channel already, kindly subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification icon. Also, make sure you check out other videos on the channel. Please like this video, comment and direct if you have any suggestions, if you have any questions with this particular video, or suggestions about any video that I should do next. Please make that known in the comment section. Your feedback is very valuable to me. Without them, I cannot make this channel work for you. Thank you for staying with me in this video. I'll see you in another video.